there, it's me again, Kathy Hill. In the early 90s, no, it was the late 90s, I had a catering business called As You Like It Catering, and we also had a small storefront that we sold prepared meals to go. One of the fan favorites was my tomato soup. We're going to make that today. Something we didn't have back in the late 90s was an Instant Pot, but a lot of you have them, I know. So we're going to use that because it's going to be late in the day and Kelly and I need to put our feet up. So we're going to just pack everything into the Instant Pot, turn it on for an hour, and then we'll finish it off. So let's get going. Okay, so the angle on this one's pretty sketchy, but it's going to show everything from the inside of the pot, which is going to be great. Now, as you know, those of you that have an Instant Pot, it has a saute feature. So I have a half a stick of butter in here, and we're going to turn on the saute feature, and we're going to heat that up. If you are doing this in a regular stock pot, you just want to heat the butter over medium heat, and then you can follow along with the rest of these instructions because it's pretty much the same, and I'll kind of go through it in both ways. Now the saute feature gets pretty hot, pretty quick, so we're going to do that. And what we're going to add to this is a little bit of salt. Not too much again because we're using chicken stock. And by the way, in the theme of the Thanksgiving leftovers, the chicken stock that we're using is left over from when we made the stuffing. So, and tomorrow for lunch, we're going to pair this beautiful tomato soup with a grilled cheese sandwich because that's what goes best with tomato soup. All right, so salt, pepper. The secret to my tomato soup is a little bit of nutmeg. I worked with a chef once, a long time ago, and she was quite the snooty one. And she was testing me, and she said, make me a soup. So I made my famous tomato soup. We're adding in a little bit of basil now. And the next day, when I went into work, she said to me, she said, was that nutmeg in your tomato soup? And I said, yes. I said, that's my secret ingredient. And she said, ugh. And she dumped out the whole batch. A little bit of garlic, about a teaspoon. Anyway, as soon as she was gone, I started making it my way again, and it became a fan favorite yet again. All right, we're starting to sizzle up now. Break up the butter a little bit. Once your butter is melted, on my saute feature, I'm going to lower this down a little bit so we don't burn this butter. Alright, so as you can see, I have some chopped up celery, carrots, and onions. We're going to put those right in there. Stir them up with that melted butter. And we're going to let those sweat down and get nice and soft for a bit. Now that our vegetables are well blended, we're going to add in 3 cans. These are 14.5-ounce cans of diced tomatoes. Any ones you want. You know, sometimes I use the fire roasted ones, sometimes I use the ones with garlic and herbs, sometimes I just use plain, or you know, whatever you have on hand or whatever you feel like playing with. You can also use fresh tomatoes that are crushed up if you had anything frozen from your garden from the summer, or something like that. It's really good with fresh tomatoes. I have done it with fresh before, but it's a lot of work. Just peel them and seed them and all that sort of stuff. So, and the only good tomato, remember, is a summer tomato. Of course, down here in the south, I guess that's all they have is summer tomatoes. It's mostly summer all the time. All right, then we're going to add in cups of chicken stock, or you can use vegetable base if you want, vegetable stock, if you want this to be a vegetarian soup. And we're going to turn off the saute feature. And stir this around. Put on the lid. Now you want the steam thing to be closed. I don't know if I can do this with the tripod there. We'll see. Whoa! Nope. Alright, so we're going to put the lid on. I can never figure out how this thing goes on. It makes that cute little noise. Okay, we're going to do that. Then we're going to press the soup key, and that's going to go for 60 minutes, which will work very nicely for this particular soup. I did a pea soup last week that took about 90 minutes, but this will be good. And once that beeps, that means it's going on. We're going to go normal, because this isn't going to take long. So we'll see in 60 minutes to finish this guy up. So there you have it. Now what we have to do is make it creamy. First thing I like to do before I do that is add a little pinch of sugar. Just take some of the acidity out of the tomatoes. And today we're going to be using our immersion blender. Now, if you don't have an immersion blender, you can do this in small batches in a regular blender. But when you do it in a regular blender, remember to put a towel over the top and keep your hands out of the way. Make sure you do it in smaller batches, because it can explode out of the blender and make a big mess. So we're just going to whir this around, up and down. Beautiful. Now, if you prefer a creamy tomato soup, what I would do is to save this soup base as it is, and when you rewarm it, add your cream to it at that time. That way, if you need to freeze it, you can do that very easily. Soup freezes very nicely. See how smooth that's getting. These immersion blenders are God's gift. That's a beautiful consistency. I'm just going to get a little spoon and make sure that we're nice and smooth. Oh, look at that. Can you see? Here we are. I was in the wrong place. It's just lovely. It was good on the hand. I wear it well. Oh my gosh, that's so good. And there you have it. Whiz up a little grilled cheese sandwich and you have got the best lunch ever. And like I said, that's quite a bit of soup, so freeze some of it, keep some of it, or just have people over, or not. Don't have people over. I didn't say that. Not in this pandemic. But when we can, have people over and eat it then and enjoy. Thanks for joining me.